Welcome to Miss Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the funniest recurring jokes in Avatar: The Last Airbender.
What? It was pretty funny.
Number 10, Zuko's ship.
Prince Zuko, the engines are damaged. We need to stop and make repairs.
Do not stop this ship.
The Fire Nation ship that Zuko spends the majority of the first season travelling around on runs into some pretty bad luck. At the end of the second episode of Book 1, we see an avalanche trap a good chunk of the ship, but that's just the beginning. It ends up being set on fire, struck by lightning, and having its deck ripped out, before finally being destroyed entirely. It's kind of a miracle it even made it that far given all the damage. Although this one is pretty subtle, it's kind of comical seeing just how many setbacks Zuko faces. Meanwhile, the gang gets by with nowhere near as many physical blows.
Aang 7, Sokka 0.
Number 9, the cough.
You can't keep us here. Let us leave.
Let us leave?
We see subtlety yet again with this one. Once you notice it though, there's no going back. Atla employed this fun little gag pretty early on in the series, when Bumi tells a joke that falls flat.
I'm from Kangaroo Island.
Oh, Kangaroo Island, eh? I hear that place is really hopping.
A dry cough is heard off screen to punctuate just how bad the joke is, and ironically, it makes the whole moment funnier. The creators must have felt that way too, because from then on, that same cough can be heard whenever a bad joke is told.
Perfume? Maybe we could dump some on Appa, because he stinks so much. Am I right?
It's usually accompanied by some blank stares bordering on dirty looks, which never fails to be funny. Number 8, Momo always doing too much. Animal companions are some of the highlights of any series, and this series has some of the greatest. Momo and Appa, especially when they're interacting, give us some of the show's most hilarious moments. It's hard to deny, however, that Momo in particular is responsible for some of the goofiest shenanigans.
Can I get some of that cactus?
I don't think that's a good idea.
For being such a little guy, he really knows how to get into trouble. Who could forget the time he accidentally got himself involved in the Ba Sing Se entertainment industry? Then again, most of the trouble he runs into is really just a result of following his stomach. So, can we really blame him? Number 7, Zuko's anger.
The scar's not on the wrong side.
Admittedly, this gag didn't really become recurring until towards the end of the series. In the fandom, Zuko's anger had always been a bit of a punchline, along with his quest to regain his honour.
I must find the Avatar to restore my honor.
And he wasn't the only character to be the butt of jokes. Katara spoke frequently enough about the traumatic experience of losing her mum, and the importance of having hope. So frequently, in fact, that other characters began to call it out.
Nah, she's pretty much a pain. She's always got to be right about everything, and she gets all bossy and involved and in your business.
All of these character traits are made fun of in the Ember Island Players. So while the show didn't necessarily play these traits for laughs, it's safe to say it was self-aware by the end.
Actually, I think that actor's pretty spot on.
How could you say that?
Number 6, Sokka's art capabilities.
Sokka, the arrow was on Appa's head.
This is his head.
We hope you are keeping track of how often Sokka made art throughout the series, because the writers obviously were, and some great bits came from it. His artwork in Sokka's Master, you know, the one where he added a rainbow, comes to mind as a standout.
I'm finished.
You added a rainbow.
Is that okay?
But we've also seen his abilities in episodes like The Library and Day of the Black Sun. The latter is a particularly hysterical instance, given that Sokka manages to design working submarines with mere stick-like figure drawings. We're once again reminded of his talents in the finale, which brings a nice close to this running joke.
Wait, why did you give me Momo's ears?
Those are your hair loopies.
At least Toph thinks they're nice. Number 5, Sokka and food.
I bet you like meat.
What is Sokka without food? In a bad mood, usually. As is common with many comedic reliefs, Sokka's love for food is a recurring bit of humour. He's always the first to complain that he's hungry, and the first to think of food anytime the gang finds themselves in a sticky situation.
See if you can find a menu. I'm starving.
This is yet another character quirk that gets brought up in the Ember Island Players, and to an extreme degree.
All I want is a full feeling in my stomach. I'm starving.
We're pretty sure every line the fake Sokka utters has to do with food, and any sort of meat always gets a special mention.
I need meat!
Number 4, hybrid animals. One of the most defining characteristics of the Avatar universe, aside from bending, of course, are the animals. Pretty much every animal is a hybrid of some sort, which is a rather cute quirk of the cartoon world. One of the very first of these hybrid animals we see are the otter penguins Aang and Katara go sledding on. From then on, we see all different sorts of combinations, like ostrich horses and an impressively wide variety of pigs.
No one can ever sneak up on us.
No kidding.
This gag would eventually be flipped on its head in the episode City of Walls and Secrets, when it was revealed the Earth King managed to keep a pet bear. Just a regular old bear.
You mean platypus bear?
No, it just says bear.
Certainly you mean his pet skunk bear.
Or his armadillo bear? Gopher bear?
Just bear.
This place is weird.
Number 3, Uncle Iroh's penchant for tea.
This tea is nothing more than hot leaf juice.
Uncle, that's what all tea is.
How could a member of my own family say something so horrible?
Uncle Iroh's love of tea might just be the most endearing of the running gags in this show, and really, we think he knew what he was talking about. There's nothing like a warm cup of tea brewed just right to bring some peace back into the soul. Between all the action, the quieter moments of Iroh making, pouring, or enjoying some tea are always very sweet, especially when he's sharing with some welcome company. When he opens his tea shop in Book 2, it really is such a wonderful haven, and for that brief time, he and Zuko look genuinely happy.
Now let's make these people some tea.
Yes, let's make some tea.
Number 2, Toph's blindness.
Well, it sounds like a sheet of paper, but I guess you're referring to what's on the sheet of paper.
Kudos to Atla for managing to make tasteful jokes, even when it concerned sensitive topics like disability. From physical comedy to funny one-liners made by both Toph herself and others, lots of humour stems from people forgetting Toph is blind.
Can't you watch where you're...
No.
Right.
She has to keep reminding everyone, especially when it comes to things like reading or writing, that the audience might also momentarily forget Toph can't do.
I don't know! I mean, seriously, what's with you people? I'm blind!
Sometimes if the gang is pointing to something, Toph can be seen looking the wrong way, which is another subtle but hilariously effective bit of comedy. The jokes run rampant, and yet somehow they never get old.
There it is! That's what it will sound like when one of you spots it.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, my cabbages! Okay, you knew this one would be here. The Cabbage Man has been terrorized for too long not to have earned a spot on this list. We're not sure we can ever remember anyone in the series eating cabbage, and that might just be because the one vendor is constantly having his cart destroyed.
Oh, forget it!
This poor guy has such a devotion to his cabbages, and every time they end up as collateral damage.
My cabbages! This place is worse than Omashu!
Lesser known is Foamy, the foaming mouth guy, and purportedly the Avatar's biggest fan, who only makes an appearance in 2 episodes, but who deserves a special mention all the same. which Atla running gag do you think is the funniest? Let us know in the comments.
It's okay. You can laugh. It's funny.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Ms. Mojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.